A very warm welcome back to Attingham Park for episode 17 with me, Mr. Sealy P. We are back on Attingham Park. I'm prepping, seeding, planting field 40 and field 41. As you can see, I've got workers going on both. And what I thought I would do, I haven't done this in ages, I thought we'd lease an agricultural drone. Now, obviously, this is the console one, and it acts like a vehicle. It's just raised up high. It's that kind of thing. But I thought it might be interesting. We'll have a look at both of these doing their job while we're doing it. Now, you can spray with this. You can spot spray if you haven't used it before or seen it before. It's a brilliant bit of kit. But yeah, so I thought, why not? We'll have a look. And then what I'm going to do, we're going to head off. We're going to become Mr. Silage. I'm going to upgrade my grass cutting equipment. Probably buy another field, I would imagine. Let's start that up. Then we need to go up and away. So as you can see, with our two fields, field 40 here, it will get a bit bumpy because it's like it's driving over the ground, but just ignore that for the moment. This one we had to cultivate because the seeder is not a direct drill. So we're doing soybean in both. I want to do soybean in both. We've got soybean over on field 12 as well. We're going to do it as a cash crop, maybe buy pig food. Haven't quite decided there. And if we go across from here, I don't want to get in the way. It's an interesting view. The other one is a direct drill, so we didn't have to cultivate. So as you can see, all the stubble's still in the ground. Both were limed in the previous episode, so we're good for our pH. Once the seed's all in the ground, I think what we'll do, actually we can probably open it now, can't we? Actually it won't tell me from there because I'm not using this vehicle for it. But what we'll do, if we go into this menu and go across one, and then we go, pH is fine, and nitrogen. So nitrogen on both of them, I don't think I've ever seen that colour before. Oh, but hang on, is it soybean that doesn't need it? We'll have to check on the ground, but now I'm using this for another reason, and this is happening. This is a I wonder musings, FS22 musings. Let's put it that way. Now, when they were talking about it, and they did the Gamescom videos, and they had the guy from John Deere there, and John Deere is spearheading the precision farming stuff. Now obviously precision farming stuff is going to get a bit of a tweak as far as I can tell for FS22, which is great. And they've also mentioned that phase 2, we're on now, phase 2, phase 3, phase 2 of the precision farming plan will be coming out, and he did say in his interview there will be more coming, exciting developments. They're going to be looking at we've talked about a little bit before, about more precise application of these very different things. And I did wonder whether drones would become part of it. Now obviously on console that's going to be a very difficult thing to achieve. As you can see with this, it kind of works, and I'll be honest, when this came out I love it. I think it's fantastic. I know a lot of people hated it because it didn't work like a proper drone. Does it have a light on it? It does have a light on it, look. So if you are doing spot application or whatever you're doing, because you can open it out and put fertilizer and stuff in it, and these are real, the spot application for fertilizer, herbicides, fungicides across fields, that way you're not having to drive into the field. You fly this out, you go to wherever you want to get to, drop it down, spot apply, and off you go again. It's a fantastic idea. So whether we end up getting some version of this or not on FS22, I'm not too sure. But both these fields will continue. What I'm going to do is head up to the store. I've taken the Rostral Mash back. We're going to swap it out and we're going to get a Krona Big M. And I'm going to start cutting some grass. Actually, I'm probably thinking while this is in the air, you can go that view as well. That one I like. I wish it had a zoom function. But that is pretty cool, having the sort of a gimbal camera underneath. What a great thing. seeing as we are doing precision farming on here, you know what? How much was field 42? Because that is grass. It's going to be a lot, isn't it? 378 grand. It's going to be a big chunk of our money. But you know what? Let's do it. Because I'm going to be using part of field 34 for our chicken run coop. Whenever we decide to get it. So what we'll do now is, I think, it's probably about time. Let's land it. I just wanted to, like I say, I just wanted to give it a go and use it just for a different view, and it gives us a chance to talk about, or me a chance to talk about, potentials, what might come. Having a proper drone would be just amazing. And if you don't think these things are real, if you don't think these things have the ability to do that kind of thing, I put a link up on my Facebook page recently. I followed the Royal Marines channel, and there was a Royal Marines exercise where they were using these, and they were on ships out at sea, and they were delivering ammunition, supplies, Bergens, like rucksacks, full of gear, inland. It was honestly incredible and terrifying all at the same time. So there we go. I'll see you at the store. Let's go and get this Crown Big M. Get cracking. These will get finished, and I need to get some fertilizer. Oh, actually, I need to check field. Oh no. Do I want to? Just realised what I need to do. Why can't we do? Why can't we do mapping with a drone? How cool would that be? Sling the drone up, map the field, because now I've got to do all the soil sampling. Similar thing, just do the airborne drone mapping. Oh, blimey. Okay, it's going to take a while. I've seen that. Well, I'm going to get that field done as well, and maybe some fertilizer on it. We'll see, and then we'll get onto the grass cutting. I promise. Mr. Silage will return. We're going to get as much into that bunker side as we can, compact it, get that sorted, and then I can repurpose. I don't want to repurpose that field now because there's grass in it I can cut, but I will do it afterwards. That's just kind of my thinking. I'm also thinking, did I leave my little quad? Well, that needs an update, doesn't it? There's upgrades we can do to this. There's new tyre choices. I might go and take this and do some upgrades. Let's do that. Let's see what it will look like afterwards, shall we? Right, let's chop that off. Put that in here. Let's see what sort of damage I've done, shall we? There are quite a few different tyre choices to go for. So we've now got these racks, which you can strap things onto, which is really handy. Still got the rear hitch, but we've done different tyre choice. Actually, they're quite narrow, aren't they? Maybe I should have gone for something a bit more chunky. Anyway, regardless of that, I've now got a whole field to go and sample. Let's do it. Oh, my potatoes. I must get those harvested. I keep saying that every episode. We'll harvest my potatoes, and then don't. I'm on my way back from our newly purchased field 42. I have nitrogened and I have pH'd. Although I made a bit of a mistake. I was doing my pHing, I was liming, and I went over to fill up and put the wrong thing in. I wasn't paying attention. I put fertiliser in instead of lime, so I brought over here to unload it. So now I've got all that fertiliser sat there, which I'm now going to have to put into a trailer and put into the silo probably. Yeah, that was a bit of a gaff. Didn't mean to do that. So anyway, fields are good to go. Money has gone down again because I have bought our new mower, although what I am going to do is now go over and collect it and then sell the other one, so the money will go back up a little bit, but not by very much, because The other one's not worth a huge amount of money, but there'll be something back towards it. And we're sitting at a fairly good position considering we've got 3 fields with soybean in, 1 with sunflower in, and obviously then there's going to be whatever we do silage wise. Obviously that's going to be 2 days away because it's got to ferment first before we can put it into the biogas plant, and then once it's been in the biogas plant, then we'll get paid for it at midnight. So that's going to be 2 days away, but we are kind of prepping for that. So that's where we're at. I will see you at the store, I guess. Yeah, that's the next step. I'll do a bit of animal clean up, tidy up at some point too. But yeah, I've got this weird thing where I've got the fields doing this strange edging where they seem to be around the edges are growing faster than the centre sections. So my sunflower all around the edge is ready to harvest, but the centre section isn't. The 2 fields I just planted and seeded are in the first growth stage around the outsides, but not in the middle. It's just a bit odd, but what are you going to do? Right then, into the yard we go. So we are swapping out this, which worked absolutely perfectly for what we needed. Although I know that a lot of people said about using various different the front lifter and things, and we could have windrowed and we could have tedded and stuff off the back of that as well. But I did all kind of do that as separate jobs. But this will do our mowing and our windrowing in one go. And if we want to do hay bales, if I need to, or more hay, I can run the little tedder off the hay bob off the back of that. That has worked before when I've done that. So yeah, that's where we're at. We've got a new mower. I'm going to get cracking on that. Let's sell these. That one, 46 grand. Actually, it's not too bad then, is it? And the other one costs 380, but it's a big upgrade from this. Oh, we're too high, or have I caught the wheels? I think I've caught the wheels, haven't I? There we go. Oh, I spent more on it than I thought, actually. Awesome. So we'll start on field 42. Now the beauty with this is I'll get a lot more done a lot quicker. And then it will be a case of collecting and putting into the silo, and I'm going to use the Weber. Actually, you know what? I might buy one of those. I don't know. Do I buy one? I used 2 last time, didn't I? I say 12,500, isn't it? I think we'll have the PTO drive. Let's buy one. That's perfect. We'll come and grab that for later on. What we'll do is we'll go through the farmyard and we can have a check and see how the soybean field is, whether it's ready to harvest or whether it's done the same thing. Part of it's ready and part of it's not. Now I spoke in the previous episode as well about nefarious, something I thought about doing, and I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't do it. And it was because it depends if you have the hedge collisions on or not. If you turn the hedge collisions off, which you can do, you do it from the main store in the office. There's a sign around by the side of the sign. Oh no, it's all good to go. So this is ready to harvest. Right, okay, well I can get cracking on that at some point. I want to do all the grass work first though. Yeah, and this was what my intention was. It was a little bit. These fields here have sat ready to harvest for a while now, but you can't buy them. That being said, they are part of the periphery of the map. The problem is the periphery of the map is 158,955,000. Because I accidentally, as I came across, drove through one of the hedges and thought, oh, hang on a minute. It might have been when I was turning the harvest around with the header. One of the times I was bringing it back, and the header went through. Now, often with hedge collisions off, it will still have collisions for headers and things like that. But it went through, and I thought, I could harvest that field. But then to buy it means buying the periphery at a cost of 158 million. So whilst the idea was there initially, I thought, oh, if it's one of those ones where the periphery doesn't cost anything, technically I've got access to an extra field, but I haven't. So, yeah. I don't know why I mentioned it. I wouldn't have made any difference if I hadn't mentioned it. No one would have ever known the dodgy thoughts that were going through my mind. Oh yeah, more sheep. That was the other thing. There seems to be a lot in there anyway. Did I buy more than I thought initially? I did put more in, didn't I? But I just... The great thing is we can jump straight to field 42 from here. Yeah, I've got the same thing, yeah, in this field too. Isn't it odd? No, it's not even like, I know sometimes if you are planting or seeding as it goes over the growth stages, whichever cycle it's in, if you go past the time of day where it goes into the next growth cycle, sometimes you can have two parts of a field in two separate growth cycles, but that's not how that was done. So I'm a bit puzzled by that. Right, let's unfold this little beauty. Now the other thing I realised, now I own all this, so I can cut all this, which is great. In buying field 42, which is this field here, I also purchased all of that foresty bit, all those trees. You know what trees mean? Yes, breathable air for everybody. Now, just need to double check. We need to have it on swath. Swath dropping. Let's turn it on. Let's drop it down. Let's do that. And away we go. So I've got a lot to do. As you can see, we've got our lime down and it has been fertilised. The yield should be better than it was. Like I say, I have no idea what the yield would have been if I hadn't have done it, because it's a new field and I've got nothing to gauge it on. But we are done. So I've got a bit of work to do now, getting round and getting all three of my grass fields done, and then it's just the small matter of then gathering it all up, putting it into the silo, adding this field on, which is an absolute monster. I think this is probably bigger than the other two combined, so I think the other two combined worked out about 700,000 litres, was it? I reckon we can get 1.4, 1.5 million litres off of both, I think. So that's what I'm aiming for. We'll see where we end up. So mowing will continue. It's nice when you upgrade to new kit, isn't it? Get something bigger or just more advanced or faster, or you know. That's the point, isn't it? Well, I say that. It's also something to be said for older gear, you know. I don't know. I suppose that's the dilemma, isn't it? We're always aiming or striving to achieve bigger, more, you know, that kind of thing. But should we be? There you go. That's today's question, today's posing question. Should we be? Or should we just be content with what we've got? I suppose the initial one is born out of the materialistic world we live in. We're brought up believing that we should be striving for more and buying more and having more things, because that's how advertising works, doesn't it? Whoa, we're getting deep. We're getting deep. We are on the way to field 42. I have got a worker now, working with the mower. I have got the trailer behind me, the one we've got. I haven't bought a second one yet, and I've got the milling machine on the front. I could be using a loading wagon. The milling machine's a little bit faster for doing this kind of thing. Bearing in mind, I could have 1.7 million litres potentially to collect, but then I suppose that's it, isn't it? It could take all day anyway. Let's go to the front. Let's go pipe out. We'll turn it on. We'll drop it down. And fingers crossed. What should be happening is, should be squatted overhead into the container, the trailer, and we should be good to go. So I'll carry on collecting all this up while the worker we've got is doing the mowing side of things. And then I'll switch from this field to field 35 and then 30. Again, why can't I remember Field 35 and 34. I kept thinking 36, 34 and 35. So we'll go from there to there to there. Get all into the biogas plant, into the silage clamp. And we'll see just how much we've ended up with. Then I'm going to have to come back over my fields again. Re-nitrogen, re-pH. Ready for it to grow again, I guess. But as I said before about having grass fields, I wasn't sure if I was going to do any more biogas. But I thought I would I would do a load more anyway, because I wanted to get the bigger mower, and I wanted to... Now, because I mentioned early on, we started off at the biogas plant, and that's about being Mr. Silage instead of Mr. Selfridge. I thought, you know what, I kind of have moved away from it to do the farming side of things, but this is still part of what we're doing. It's part of what made us who we are today. Mustn't forget our roots. That once I've done this one, I think I will plough and prep probably field 35. Field 34 is going to have a big old chicken coop on it. That's the plan for that. But I think I might, field 35, leave this one as a grass one in case we need it. But field 35, plough out and have as a field for crops, I think. Apologies if you can hear that in the background. Next door neighbour, still having her kitchen done. It seems to be being done in kind of dribs and drabs, and unfortunately today is a noisy day, which is wonderful. So I've been kind of recording in little bits when there's been no sound, hoping it'll be okay, and then you get a bit of a burst of noise. Can I get this field up to 52? Unfortunately, the milling machine does get to a point, and it depends on the trailer as well, where it doesn't seem to want to do any more. And I found if you put it on full lock backwards or full lock forwards, you can get it to kind of pick up more often. There you go. See, it's still going, but then again, I'm talking about a difference of 51,000 to 52,000 litres. Do I really need to? The answer to that? No, I don't. So what I'm going to do, turn that off, drop that off, and I was thinking, can I go down the side of... I can. Let's go through the undergrowth. Not what I was anticipating. There goes the mower. Yeah, because we're up this end, aren't we? So we can cut in here and go down the side. Get to the biogas plant that way. Fantastic. Right, let's see how much we end up with. It's now 25 to 4, and I have severely underestimated how much grass I was going to get. Everything is now mowed. So field 34, 35 are done. Field 42 is now completely cleared, and it's taken so long the grass has started to grow again everywhere. But what I've got in here, from field 42 alone, I said I'd be thinking about 700-ish, so 1.4 million or 1.5 million combined. Off of field 42, I've got 931,000 litres already. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem, because as you can probably see, I've got all of field 34 and 35 to clear yet. I don't have another silage clamp, so I'm thinking, actually, is there a silage clamp up at the other farm? I'll have to whiz over and have a look. Either that, or I'll fill up this silo, compact it, cover it, and everything else I can put into the silo. And then what I can do is, once it's empty, rather than have to cut the grass again, I can just take it out of the silo and put it into the silage clamp. I could do that, couldn't I? It seems a bit of a weird way of doing it, but maybe that's what we're going to need to do. So anyway, yeah, I just thought I'd do this kind of brief interlude into what we've been doing, just because I was a little bit surprised by how much we got. I've got an absolute ton more to clear now, so happy days. This isn't going to be posted in the day I thought it was going to be now, because it's taking a little bit longer than I had envisaged. Anyway, I'll see you later. It's now 5:23. The silage clamp is, I mean, it's as full as I'm going to get it. I have been compacting. I've got the Weber 180 compactor, compressor. That thing works brilliantly. Put two of those, one front, one back. They work fantastically. If you haven't seen, I'm sure I did it on this clamp before, but it wasn't as full. So how much have we actually got in here? Well, we have got 1,206,253 litres in here. As far as compacting goes, we're at 96%. That's turned on. Will be done in a second anyway. All the fields are cleared. Now, I didn't get 1.2 million litres. I got way more than 1.2 million. So the rest I've put into the silo at the main farm for storage. I am going to cover this before I come off of it, simply because I don't want the anything to squish out the front, and as it stands there might be a little bit to tidy up. Yeah, I think we'll use the that's why I bought the wheel loader, the telehandler over. So turn that off, lift that up. I should have done that before I compacted that. Take that off there. So that's now compacting. I have still got though, let's bring that down. Now I did buy this in the end because I thought if I do any more at any point. It was only, was it 12 gram on it? The Krona Big M is over here and is in storage for the next time we need to mow grass, make hay, whatever it is we're going to do. We may not do any more again, and if we don't, then I can always sell it. What we'll do though, I've got the last of the grass in the trailer, which we're going to go and put in the silo, and we'll see how much we've got in the silo as well. So as well as 1.2 million litres that's now fermented in here, we have got an absolute load in storage that we're going to have to sort out. So what I'll do, oh mind you, it'll be chaff now from here, won't it? That's not going to help very much, is it? And then I'm going to need to take the telehandler back over to the farm because I need to sort out all the animals for the evening. They need bedding down, troughs and areas cleaning out, because we're at that point of the day. So let's just clean up. There we go. Just tidy up all the bits that need tidying up. So it'll be a little under that amount. I mean, not much, is it? It's going to be excellent. I thought this would hold about 1.5. I'm sure someone messaged me a little while ago actually to say it was 1.2 million. If it was you, I do apologise for not remembering. It's only while I was doing it I thought, I'm sure somebody told me. I'm not going to get, I don't think I'm going to get these edge bits. Never mind. Now, while I was doing all the collecting of grass, I also had a topper running on the potato field. I've leased potato harvester, the modded one that came as part, was it part of that Grimmer sort of add-on DLC pack thing that we got a little while ago? The one that I used last time anyway. Or was it the one from this? It might be the one from this map that GB put on. That does potatoes, carrots or onions. So what we'll do now is take this over. So what I've got to do also is my fields, I think, have they just clicked over ready to harvest now as well? And some of my sunflowers ready to go now as well. The whole field is now clear, ready to harvest, rather than that weird blotchy bit. Yeah, we've moved because that's now all growing on that field there as well. But all these are clear, so these are all going to need I think they're going to need liming again, in all honesty. But they are going to need some fertiliser on them again. So all the grass fields are going to need fertilising. So I've got a few bits to do off camera. So what I'll do is put the rest of this in. We'll look at maybe sorting out a little bit of the yard and the animals. But I'm using the class at the moment to do the potatoes. Get the telehandler over. Now I can't honestly remember how much we've got in here, because the last two unloads I didn't look at the amounts. It's over 300,000 litres, that much I do know. As for specifically how much, let's switch to rear. So you can spin that round rather than go all the way around. Right. And then we'll see. And then what I can do, I mean, if I've got a larger trailer, maybe a lorry with a big capacity trailer, once we've cleared that silage clamp again, we can always just come and get it all out of the silo here, put it into a silage clamp, compact it, and go again. So, yeah, we can. There's a few different ways around this. As far as what we actually have, grass, 470,994 litres. Add that to the 1.2 million, that puts us about 1,670,000. I thought it was going to be 1.5, and because we got more off of field 42, it put us up by a couple of 100,000. So yeah, it's about right. So yeah, we can put another 470,000 litres of grass back into that silage clamp as soon as that is fermented, cleared, and we're ready to go again. I think the trailer and the milling machine are going to need a bit of work, in all honesty. The egg pallets I don't have to worry about because they're clearing themselves. Oh, we're going to need the trailer potatoes, aren't I? Of course I am. Let's do not that one. That one. And no, that one. So what I'll do is just put that over to one side for the moment. I have also started all those pallets of fertiliser that I had here by mistake. I've been clearing them up and putting them into the trailer, and then we'll put those into the silo as well. So yeah, I've been sort of multitasking while I've been doing the grass stuff. I've been doing a few other odds and ends and jobs that just needed tidying as I was going. Turn it off. So, I think we're finally there. It's taken quite a few hours, I'm not going to lie. A bit longer than I had intended. Potatoes are going to go into storage as well. Again, that's kind of part of the let's have as much as we can on hand for the pigs. If we don't go down the pig food route specifically, then we've got pig food. Actually, I should turn that off. I should leave that running then. And the lights off. So, I think we'll finish off on here. Let's close that up. I made a start with just trying to clear some of the side areas. We've got the potato one, as you can see, in brown. It did need topping first, but then this will. Harvest, 10,000 litre capacity. Like I say, I'm sure I used this one. We did onions on here, didn't we? We did carrots over on field 40. Yeah, because the onions we put into that big building, and then I decided I shouldn't have put them there, we should sell them. Let's turn that on. And I'm sure I used this for doing the onions as well. Class pulls this no problem at all. I mean, I suppose the silly thing being that I've put narrower tyres on the class at the moment, but that's not a small class. It's an 870, so hasn't got bad horsepower at all. But I suppose compared to the other two, it seems like a small tractor, but it really isn't. I think what I could probably do with doing is going around the edges and stuff now. But I think that's where we're going to leave it for this episode. I need to go that way round. So I've got my tractor on the inside. Oh no, I'm going over some of the stuff. Oh, I don't know which way around should I do it. No. Other way. Other way! That's more like it. Back up into the corner. So, yeah, Mr. Silage, we're rocking and rolling with regards to that. And then next episode, chickens. We're going to go for the big chicken pen. Get that up and running. I did go over and check to see if there was a silage clamp over at the other farm, and there isn't. I think there might be. There's a cow farm over there you can buy. Where is it? Oh, that direction. That might have one. But we weren't buying that at the moment. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.